You can definitely tell that this was an indie movie and was very self-funded, okay? So it stars Chris Caton. You know him from SNL or Night at the Roxbury's, and also Undercover Brother if you are a Comedy Central type of kid. Now, this is a suggestion. I feel like this would be a really great remake, of course, for streaming. I will say some of the jokes are extremely outdated. However, the full movie is on Tubi if you just want to like see it. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's not the best movie. It definitely is very like indie coded, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like this would be a great remake. I love twin movies. So identical twins, Fred and Ted, are separated after birth, and Ted ended up in a psychiatric institution, and Fred is a corporate psychiatrist that has a suburban life but isn't that happy. Now, Fred, before going into a psychiatric facility to sign some documents, has a bunch of misfortunate events that causes him to be all wet and take a shower. Now, Ted, although he's in a psychiatric place, he does definitely read as a neurodivergent kind of person, and he escapes to find his twin brother in the bathroom. So he finds his brother's wallet and things of that nature, and he swaps with his brother's life for a couple of days. Now, what would I change? In my opinion, they can do more animation on why they got separated, or even choose a series route, right? Where they could show us, you know, how they were separated at birth and how each one grew up. I feel like this would be a great series on like Netflix. And then they finally come together like 20 years later. Again, I do feel like the acting and the writing should definitely be tweaked. You know what I mean? However, I do feel like the storyline is pretty solid, you know? Also, I hope they could hire people with neurodivergency and disabilities, as I feel like they kind of did in this actual indie movie. I do love the characters that were neurotypical people in the psychiatric ward, and I wouldn't want them to change that. I think that their personalities are perfect. And in the ending, I would not like to see animation. I would like to see the actual events that happen with Ted and Fred actually hanging out versus the animated version of it. Because, you know, again, I know that this is an indie movie. If you don't know, I recently put out a video on my YouTube, Thug Bunny 3005, or you can put in Naomi Khadijah and it'll pop up, that was saying to like producers in Hollywood or whoever wanted to actually take it on, that these are some remakes that people want to see versus you trying to do, what is that, like The Bodyguard and stuff, or making Toy Story and Ice Age 17, part 17. Here are some ideas. And also, give me a job. I hope you guys go like and subscribe. Again, Thug Bunny 3005. Or you could just put in Naomi Khadijah. And that way I will just pop up. You can watch and you can like and you subscribe and watch all my